Welcome back to video 6 of reality. Before we can get into the conclusion of understanding reality, which is the last video after this, there's a few more lessons that you'll need. This video is entitled Illusions. Everything in the universe is an illusion. In this video, we're going to learn how everything you see or you think you see is an illusion. Or as I like to think about it, a dirty trick played on us all by the universe. I mean, not to mention governments and everyone else hiding and giving you false information. The universe is tricking us as well. It may not be apparent in all cases for this trickery, but it is apparent that the universe takes great pride in fooling our senses. We must learn to look without the use of our eyes. Using your eyes is the surest way to be deceived by the universe. We don't see things the way they are. We see things the way we are. In the words of Talmud. We don't see things the way they are. We see things the way we are. Let's think about this for a minute. If we just use our eyes, it appears the sun goes around the earth. It appears the earth is flat. It appears matter is solid. All of these things we know to be untrue. If you look at a tree, what do you see? A brown trunk with green leaves? Your brain tells you that the tree has green leaves and a brown trunk. When in actuality, the tree is everything except the colors you see. Colors of light travel in frequency, a certain amount of energy. This gives the light a particular color. The tree is accepting every color of light, every quantity of energy, except the colors you see. In white light exists every color in the rainbow. When the white light or sunlight reaches the tree accepts every frequency of the light, every color, except for the frequency of the green for the leaves and the brown for the trunk. The tree is every color except brown and green. It reflects those colors because it will not accept those frequencies. You are seeing everything that the tree is not. You see only the energy that the tree will not accept. And that's how you see everything, what it's not. When you see lightning, it appears that lightning comes from the sky and strikes the ground, when in fact lightning travels from the ground up. Light always travels in reverse. Now it's important to us to understand illusions that the universe presents us with if we are to understand the truth behind reality. Now, in this video is a new concept. I'm going to give you a new piece of the puzzle that has never been presented before. And it's important to understanding reality. You'll find out as we go along why it's so important. It may seem insignificant, but as we continue, you'll find out that it's crucial to understanding and unlocking the secrets to reality. I am positive that Einstein knew this. He must have, and he chose not to share it with us. Because with this small secret, you can unlock many of the truths of reality. And there's no way Einstein could have reached some of the conclusions he had about light without knowing this part. They come after knowing this part. This truth involves the illusion of light. At this point, scientists pretend like they understand light and photons and waves and particles and exactly what it is. They understand what it's made of. Fine, we've got that down. But they can't tell you why light acts differently than everything else in the universe. Why light never speeds up or slows down. So they don't know what light is, no matter what they tell you. Okay, now, we are going to explain reality. We can't let light or any unknown phenomenon in our universe exist. If it doesn't be explained by our theory, then we have the wrong theory or the wrong explanation of reality. We cannot simply ignore any single element in the universe. And science so far to date has done a lot of that, or just make up new things to fill in the blank. We're not going to do that. Einstein states in the general theory of relativity that light does not work in his theory. He states at the present time, we'll just leave light out of the theory. Just leave it out. And that's why, one of the reasons he called it the general theory of relativity. Obviously, a complete theory could not leave light out or anything unexplained that simply wouldn't be an explanation of reality. Well, we're not going to leave light out of our explanation of reality. In fact, there is a simple explanation for light and how it acts. Light fits perfectly into our theory of everything. You may think it's not important. How can understanding light affect my life? How is this knowledge going to change how I believe? Remember, this is a journey of knowledge. It's through this knowledge that you will grow and understand yourself, the universe, and the truth behind your existence. Understanding light and the illusion of light will help you to understand the universe. It's an essential piece of reality, and it can be easily understood by anyone. Now let's discuss. These are pieces of the puzzle that everyone already knows. So let's bring them out and get them out here on the table. Let's start putting our puzzle together. We know that light travels at 186,000 miles per second. It's also told that light does not speed up or slow down. It simply starts at 186,000 miles per second and stops at the same speed. Science also tells us that nothing can go faster than the speed of light. Science further tells us that as you approach the speed of light, you reach maximum mass, maximum energy. That means that if you reach the speed of light, all energy in any form will become complete mass. All of the energy at the speed of light will be locked in mass, so you can never reach the speed of light. Now, this was given to us mainly from Einstein. And you'll learn there's no possibility he could have figured out we can't travel faster than the speed of light without knowing this next part. This is one of the things that was hidden from you. This is one of the pieces of the conspiracy. Now, when you finish this video, you'll be able to reach many conclusions. You'll be able to reach the same discoveries yourself, believe it or not, that Einstein did in your own head. That is how we're going to learn to teach yourself. You will be able to understand exactly how Einstein was able to figure out nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. Now, how does light do this? First of all, here's the thing. Light does not travel away from the source at 186,000 miles per second. Light does not travel away from the source at all. It's an illusion. Light always travels in the direction of the source. This means light travels in reverse from what you see. If you turn on a flashlight, the light is traveling to you into the flashlight. The sun's rays are not traveling from the sun to you. The light is traveling towards the sun. I know it may be difficult to believe because your eyes tell you something completely different. The sun or anything, flashlight or anything that is drawing energy in our universe, that is losing enough energy to pull energy back towards the source. When you turn the flashlight on, your eyes clearly tell you that the light is traveling away from you and hitting the wall. But in reality, the light is traveling towards you from the wall into the flashlight. You look to the sun, you see light coming from the sun, warming your skin, lighting the day. However, again, is an illusion. Light is traveling towards the sun from you. From your skin, from Earth, from the moon, is all traveling towards the sun. Starlight is traveling from you back to the star. At this point, it sounds completely contrary to what you believe, contrary to what your own eyes are telling you. It simply cannot be, is what you're thinking. Remember, keep an open mind. At this point, nobody has an explanation for light, what it's doing. Every scientist, every physicist today has simply looked at light with their eyes and said that must be. We're not going to do that. We must look with our mind. We must make light act within the laws of our universe. There's nothing else in the universe that doesn't slow down or speed up. There's nothing else that maintains a constant speed. Therefore, we can either change everything else in our universe to fit within the rules and laws that govern light, as scientists have done so far, or we can make light act within the laws of our rules of our universe. We know that light in our universe, we know that there is light in our universe. Light is a part of our universe, a central part, a critical part, and therefore it must be made to act within the laws of our universe. Now, how we can visualize this? In a simple way, because remember, this stuff is all simple. You can complicate it. You can put a lot of formulas into it. You can put a lot of extra pieces into this puzzle. But when you eliminate all of the impossible, in the great words of Sherlock Holmes, all you're left with is the possible, no matter how impossible. So let's visualize this. Visualize you're traveling in a car through space, 1,000 miles per second. Pretty fast for a car. But we're in space, so it's a space car. So we have no problem going 1,000 miles per second. As you're going along your car to your destination, space is dark, so you turn on your headlights. Now ask yourself, how fast is the light coming from your headlight? How fast is that light going? We know that light travels 186,000 miles per second. We know that you're traveling in your car 1,000 miles per second. So the question is, how fast is the light traveling that left your car headlights? If you're traveling at 1,000 miles per second in your car, and the light is traveling at 186,000 miles per second, well, 186,000 plus 1,000 is 187,000 miles per second. So the light must be going 1,000 miles an hour faster, because you're going 1,000 miles per hour. And that is true for everything else in the universe, but not for light. The speed of your car doesn't affect the speed of the light. No matter how fast you're going in your car, it will never affect the speed of the light leaving your headlights. Nothing you do in your car can affect the speed of the light leaving the headlights of your car. How can that be? Anything else leaving your car would certainly be affected by the speed of your car. Therefore, simply put, the light cannot be leaving the car of your headlights. We will not permit light to act differently than everything else in our universe. Here's another example. Look at it like this. If you're driving a car 1,000 miles per second and you throw a rock out the window of your car, the rock's going at 50 miles per second. How fast is that rock traveling? 1,000 miles per second, the speed of your car, plus 50 miles per second. So the rock is indeed going 1,050 miles per second. In this case, with everything else in the universe, in this case is a rock, the speed of your car affects the speed of the rock. So anything you do in your vehicle now affects the speed of that rock. Now picture this. Again, you're driving 1,000 miles per second. I'm standing in front of you and you throw that rock at me. I'm not moving. So when the rock hits me in the head, how fast will the rock be traveling? 1,050 miles per second. Well, let's say I decide I don't want to get hit by the rock because it hurts. I decide to run, and I can run pretty damn fast from a rock. As a matter of fact, I can run 500 miles per second backwards, away from your car. Now, because I can only run 500 miles per second backwards, and your rock that you threw at me, because of the speed of your car and the speed of the rock, is traveling twice as fast as me, 1,050 miles per second. It's going faster than your car, and it will reach me sooner than your car. But since I'm now running backwards at 500 miles per second away from you, how fast will the rock be traveling when it reaches me? When it reaches me, it will hit me in the head. It's going to take longer because I'm moving backwards. But it's going to take longer, but it's still going to hit me in the head. But when it hits me, it's going to hit me at 1,050 miles per second. No matter what I do. No matter what I do, because the rock is coming towards me, it will hit me at the same speed. If I run towards you, no matter how fast I run towards you, if I go faster than you're going, if I go 2,000 miles per second running towards you and the rock's going to hit me a lot sooner, but it's going to hit me at the same speed. The speed will still be going 1,050 miles per second. When something's traveling at you, nothing you do will affect the speed in which it reaches you. Now, I get tired of running from the rock. I stop running and I catch the rock. And since I don't like you throwing rocks at me at any speed, I decide to throw the rock back at you. I throw the rock at you 50 miles per second because I'm mad, so I throw it really hard. And you're still traveling towards me at 1,000 miles per second. My rock is traveling at you at 50 miles per second. How fast is it traveling at you? 50 miles per second. No matter what you do in your car, it's not going to affect the speed of my rock. You can drive faster towards me, the rock will get to you sooner. But you haven't changed the speed of my rock. Nothing you do can change the speed of my rock. Now, let's imagine that you want to outrun my rock, and you're going to go backwards. Well, in reverse, you can't go that fast. You can only go 49 miles per second. That's the maximum speed your space car has in reverse. The rock is still going to hit you because it's going 1 mile per second faster than you're going, than you can ever go. It's still going to reach you. And when it hits you, it's still going to be going 50 miles per second because you can never outrun the rock. So here's the conclusion from this. You can have no impact on anything in our universe traveling towards you. Speeding up or slowing down will not affect the speed of anything traveling towards you. Whether you're a rock or a beam of light or a puppy or any form of matter. Universal law 1. This is a new information that hasn't been given to you before. If a primary object is moving in the direction of a secondary object at a particular speed or velocity, it cannot be altered in any manner by the speed or velocity of the secondary object. Except by gravity, but we're in space, so we're not worried about gravity. Now, this law may sound simple, but it's profound in its simplicity and truth. The simple explanation clearly shows one thing, and that is that light cannot be traveling away from your headlights, or the speed of your car would affect the light, as it does the rock or any other matter in our universe. When you eliminate all of the impossible, all you are left with is the possible, no matter how impossible. If you keep things simple like this, yes, they have clouded it. And there's scientists who say, no, it can't be because, look, it's that simple. There is no other possible explanation. Otherwise, light doesn't exist, and we know it does. So therefore, the only explanation that can be is it's traveling towards you, towards the source, always. And because we can't go faster than the speed of light, it will always arrive to you at the same speed. And when something arrives to you, you never experience it slowing down or speeding up. You have no effect on that. Now we're going to do a little bit more of a scientific explanation. If we accept the fact that light must act within the realm of things in our universe, that light must be traveling towards the source being car headlights or any conventional light source. Since this is true, we must explain this. There must be an explanation. Again, an explanation that is easily understood, not through mathematics, not through hard calculations. I've never seen a light beam with any kind of math or calculations in it. An explanation that is understood by everyone. Now, it is very important that you take the time to understand the relevance of light. Just stick with me, understand this part because it is crucial to the next chapter. You are now doing very high physics, and these are things that have never been let out in the public before. Now, visualize with me that you're holding a flashlight in your hand. The flashlight is turned on, therefore there is no light. The flashlight is turned off, therefore there is no light. Now you turn the flashlight on, and you see what appears to be light coming from the flashlight hitting the wall across the room. Let us look at what you actually observe in regards to what's actually happening. We know that by turning on the flashlight, by pushing that switch, you've connected an electrical circuit. You've taken the negative of the battery that doesn't have enough electrons or energy, and you've connected it to the positive. The negative end of the battery simply wants what it doesn't have. It wants to become neutral. As everything else in the universe, the battery is willing to take the energy from the simplest path. As a matter of fact, even while the flashlight was turned off, it was taking energy and the batteries were becoming neutral. If you leave it sitting alone long enough, the battery will be dead. It will become neutral. It'll lose its charge. But when you connect the switch, it allows it to much quicker gather up the positive from the negative and become neutral. Now, the positive side of the battery simply has more energy than it wants. It wants to be neutral, and it wants the same thing, and the same thing by the negative side. It wants to be neutral, which is basically what everything in our universe is after neutrality. When the flashlight is not turned on, when there's not light emitting from the flashlight, even though the batteries are releasing energy and becoming neutralized, because it's not happening fast enough and the energy loss is not big enough, it does not emit light. When you flip the switch, allowing the energy to pass from the negative to the positive side much more quickly, you put up a resistor in the form of light bulb in the path of that moving energy. The light bulb lights up according to your eyes. However, looking at this with our mind, knowing that no matter what it looks like, light simply cannot be traveling from the flashlight. Because if I move the flashlight, it will not affect the speed of the light. So the light must be traveling into the flashlight. What we've done by connecting the opposite ends of the batteries is essentially a movement of energy. Energy is being released. Whenever energy is released, a star or a flashlight, it wants that energy back. Most of the energy is being released from the light bulb. Therefore, at that point, the light bulb is pulling energy back towards itself at the speed of light. The light being pulled back into the flashlight, or energy, would be concentrated at the point where the most energy is being lost, and that is the light bulb. Therefore, the energy being pulled into the flashlight, the highest concentration of energy is the light bulb. As we move farther away from the light bulb, there is less energy being pulled in and less light is visible. Therefore, it appears that the beam of light is getting weaker. The energy being pulled back into the light becoming weaker. The further away you get from the light, you look at the wall and you see a glowing circular patch of light on the wall where the beam is striking the wall. And it appears to grow brightly on the wall, as if the wall is stopping the light. However, in actuality, that is just energy being taken from the wall, because the wall has energy. The flashlight will pull energy from anything you point it at, the television, the wall, a mirror, and depending upon how much energy the item has that the flashlight is pointed at will determine how much light is reflected or sent back to the flashlight. The flashlight is not sending light towards the wall. The flashlight is pulling energy from the wall, from the air, from anything it can, back into the flashlight in an attempt to gain the loss of power that is experiencing. As the energy moves into the flashlight, it lights up. But that's what you're seeing. Energy moving into the source. And then it begins to light up, so it appears that the light's traveling away from you. But it's not. The light is traveling towards the source. And the energy is being, what you see is the energy actually moving. You're not actually seeing what the light is doing. It's difficult to visualize. If you're seeing energy moving towards the light, as this energy moves at the speed of light, it gains mass and it lights up. Therefore, giving the illusion that light is traveling away from you. In essence, the only thing that's actually happening is that you've created kind of a black hole. You've created an emptiness where there's a shortage of energy. It's not a black hole, but this is an easy way to visualize. When you threw that switch, you turned on the flashlight. You created a loss of energy. For the sake of example, we'll call it a black hole. This hole wants something back in it. At the speed of light, energy will move back into this hole. That's what you're seeing. That's why it appears brighter at the source, because there's more energy, of course, at the source, because it's being pulled from all around. More energy congregates at the source. Now, if you want to, review the double slit experiment. It's one of the oldest experiments ever known to mankind, and they still can't explain. Look up double slit experiment on Google. This is the only explanation for why light would act the way it does act on the double slit experiment. If you look at the sun and you can't possibly imagine how it is the sun is not sending us light, think of the sun as a giant flashlight. The sun is losing energy, the sun is burning, the sun wants that energy back, and it's trying to take it back from you. Earth, the moon, space, everything that it can pull on. If you don't believe me, and you probably don't because all your life you've heard the sun is the giver of all life, another trick of the universe, the sun is the greatest taker of life. If you don't believe me, go out in the sun for a couple hours. After a couple hours of the hot sun, tell me, do you feel energized? Did the sun give you lots of energy, or did the sun burn your skin? Did the sun take energy from you and leave you feeling drained? The sun has sucked as much energy out of you as possibly it could. Don't water your garden for a couple weeks and tell me the sun filled your garden full of life. Or did the sun suck every bit of energy from the plants? You see, there are many tricks in our universe, and almost everything is an illusion. And why that is so important is the final chapter, the final video that you'll see next. You have to understand that it's an illusion. And because we have to make the model of the universe. Without a correct model, which science doesn't have today, they don't have a model of the universe, a working model, then you can't understand reality. And in order to understand what the working model is, you have to learn to look with your mind and not with your eyes.